There's a lot of concerns that many bars and restaurants in cities will never reopen. What are you seeing? And then more generally, how seriously do you take this idea that COVID-19 could trigger this sort of stampede out of cities?
Well, in terms of bars and restaurants, we're very committed to their recovery. In many countries, are getting together with other CPG companies, like in Brazil, for example, and we are there to finance their coming back to business, to finance that first purchase when they reopen, to provide them with a reopening kit, hand sanitizers, gowns, gloves, everything, and to also give a discount on some key SKUs, key products, so they can get back to business. When you look at our supply chain, most of our farmers that we buy from are small farmers, 15,000 of them. And of the 6 million retailers that we service on a weekly basis throughout the world, most of them are small and medium businesses. So our success is very connected to their success. And that's why we're so connected to having them recovering from this whole pandemic that affected them in a big way. So, for example, one of the things we did during the pandemic was twofold. First, we launched in many countries, in more than 20 countries, vouchers. So consumers could buy vouchers to help the retailers while they were closed, their favorite pubs, and then redeem that when the pub would reopen. And the second thing is that we put very quickly, because we have a very big tech team inside our company, we put in place apps that would connect consumers that were in stay home type mandates and orders with our retailers that were in shutdown, but they need each other. So we put that app to connect them. And in the Americas today, this app is already a big deal. We have hundreds of thousands of retailers that are connected and hundreds of thousands of consumers that are using it. So we did everything we could during and now after the pandemic to make sure this pubs, restaurants will come back.
So it seems pretty likely that more and more people will work from home permanently after this, even after the pandemic has gone away. Does that concern you? Does it affect you in any way? Fewer after work drinkers?
Well, our offices, for example, if you take us as an example, we've always worked in open plan offices. So nobody has an office. I work in a big table with my direct reports around me. Everybody can see me. Everybody can come talk to me. There's no doors, no assistants blocking anything. So we've always done that for now 30 years because we believe that people having contact with each other is very important. So, for example, I think Zoom and this kind of technology can bridge, during a pandemic, much better than I thought, and I think most people thought. So it's very efficient, but it does not replace 100% the experience of people bumping into each other, having a coffee at a break, having a beer at the end of the day. We have bars in our offices, so at the end of the day, they can have a beer, talk about business, talk about life.
Your entire business model depends on bringing people together. Does that change in any way as a result of COVID-19? Do we become less social or the opposite?
No, I think what changes is that, for example, I'll start from the culture of our company. Our culture is a culture of ownership, in that we treat the company as ours, a culture of talented people, big dreams, and more importantly, a culture that we go where consumers go because that's where growth is. So what we've been observing during this pandemic is that consumers have the same needs of getting together. It's just that because of all the restrictions, they had to use technology to do so. But what you also observe is that as soon as these restrictions are eased, consumers go back and try to regain the ground they lost in terms of physical interactions. Of course, consumers are more cautious. They are more, they're looking more at social distancing, wearing masks and all that. But at the end, the physical contact, we believe the new normal will have, it's yet to be defined, but consumers will go to some old habits because those have been ingrained forever. I mean, the human being is a social animal.